Namaskaram everyone. The video that you are able to watch I don't know, like a wire making this video. It is quite astounding and how it unraveled, and I think that it is important that I make this video. I know it's going to be a little bit long, and I know many of you may lose the patience to go to the end, but it's necessary. First of all, a few disclaimers. You can call this video a revelation that I want to share with the world. I know many of the people may not be able to watch this. Many of you who start this may not watch till the end. That is completely fine by me. Now, the disclaimer is whatever you are going to hear, you are going to listen, and so on, everything. You can take it as a grain of salt, or you can look at it as a possibility. And even myself, I do not know how these things has unraveled. I think more is yet to come, but I think this is the perfect timing that I should make this video. So if you are following my trail, I have been exploring the energy spaces, and I was trying to map the energy spaces, but not looking for a specific trend or anything. I just go from one place to another, and then things open up. There are many things to share, which I may not be possible to share also. But coming back to this particular video, because I've been just extending a lot. So many months back, I was doing research on Padmasambhava caves. There are numerous of them, as well as Milarepa caves across Nepal. And I came to one article which said the name place called Santipur, very close to the Swayambhunath Stupa. So at the time, I was not very much interested about that, although I've heard it. Recently, one of our fellow meditator actually shared a review on that spot, Shantipur. And he said that he experienced something strange over there, which basically means that I had to visit anyhow. And one fine day, me and other fellow volunteers, we went over there. There are a lot of stories. I'm going to come into that. This video is going to be long. So I could experience the energies just from outside the Bihar. It's called a Bihar, or you can say stupa or temple, whatever you want to say. One of the reasons we had to sit outside the temple is because the temple is open only on the full moon nights, and you can also enter through the first gate only. And it is said that there's a sequence of numerous, up to 7 doors, which leads to various segments inside. I'll come more into this one, it's quite crazy. and I got to experience like a very high energy even from outside. So you cannot imagine that what would be the case if you go inside. Possibly that is the main reason the stories has been created, or the reality is that so. There's no way for us to validate that now, because this temple was built around, I think, 1500 years back. So I told several meditators who are from the Kathmandu Valley that they can go and visit on full night. It is said that like for other people, they can go up to the first door. They can go through the first door and then that's it. But for other tantric people or the Vajrayana, not the Vajrayana practitioner, but the Vajracharya priests or the tantrics, they can actually go through the second door also, but not beyond that. I'll share the link about this location, the video on the YouTube in the description, so that you can read, learn more about the place. I'll not go much more into that one, but I'll try to summarize. So it was quite curious that like what this place is all about. We met some of the locals. We tried to find some answers. We got some answers, of course, but most of the answers were we already knew about that. So before there's like a 3-4 sequence of this story. It's quite, I don't have a word. I have lost word of that, what I'm going to say. So basically, the description, if you read, it says that long time back, if you may not know about the history of how the Kathmandu Valley came into the being, the entire capital Kathmandu Valley was a lake. So there was a Swayambhu, or the lotus, bloomed on the top of the hill where the present day Swayambhunath temple is. That's why it's called a Swayambhu. The flower bloomed over there. A divine kind of flower. We didn't know how it is, but then it is said that Manjushri, one of the Bodhisattva, he came and then he saw that the need of people to inhabit in that place. So he went to one of the hill known as the Chobar, and then he created the outlet for the entire water from the lake, and then that's how the fertile Kathmandu Valley started to emerge and people started living over there. But it is said that as the time passed by, the king of that time actually invited one of the person from India, and then this person was later known as the Shantikar Acharya. So it is said that Manjushri came to his vision and then told him that in the future the Swayambhu, or the lotus, is going to be in a great danger, because it is said that the lotus actually, the Swayambhu incident actually happened in the Dwapar Yuga. And as the Kali Yuga has approached, the vision, in the vision, Manjushri Bodhisattva actually told Shantikar Acharya that in the future the Swayambhu cannot be protected. So he said that like you need to conceal it with a stupa. So Shantikar Acharya was a tantric. It is also said that he was the first Vajracharya, the first of the tantric of the Nevar Buddhism, which is also a extension of Vajrayana. Again, I'll not go much more deeper what the Vajrayana is, but so what is said that when Shantikar Acharya got this vision, he created the different temples for the protection of different elements, the different elements temples And for like the snakes known as the Nagpur, for the Akash, for the sky, it's called Akaspur. And similarly, he did for the fire, Agnipur, as well as like for the earth, Basupur, and so on. That is actually created around the present-day stup, and it is said that he concealed the blooming lotus under the stupa. And then after that, he went inside the Akaspur, and then he went into that samadhi over there, and then it is said that he's still meditating over there for nearly like 1500 years. And that is the story that we have read, and that is the story that the local person has said. But of course, there is more to the story. Otherwise, why I should make this video? I could just tell you, you can go and read it. And since Shantikar Acharya went inside the Akash temple and then he stayed there, that is the reason the name of that Bihar is now changed the name to Santipur, because it is said that like he is still sitting inside in samadhi over there. And this is of course true, or whatever the reason, the stories, whatever, the energy is very profound over there. You can go into meditative states or even like a samadhi very easily. I'll not go more deeper into that one. So that actually intrigued. If I couldn't trace any energies over there, it would have been the end of the story for me, but the story had more thing to unravel. And as follow through, we were visiting Bhaktapur and Kathmandu, Patan, different energy centers. And eventually, one of the meditator who was very much highly involved with the Safe Soul movement with me, he actually told, you have to visit this place, which is known as the Itum Bahal. I didn't knew about like what this temple was about, but he recommended. One of the reasons like I couldn't get all the information from him was because there was a network issue. So I asked him to text me. And because the places' names are in Newari language, at least for me, like it's very difficult to know what that means. So me and another meditator, we went to this temple. And when we went over there, it was the temple of the Tara. So it's in the Vajrayana as well as the Hinduism or the Sakta or tradition. Tara is the second, one of the 10 Mahavidya, the second one in Shaktism, and one of the deity in Vajrayana Buddhism. So we went over there. The presence was, you cannot deny, because the Devi temples, you cannot miss it. So we are having conversation. I was just asked with curiosity that like what this temple was about, although I knew a little bit about the Tara. So he went on explaining about the different form of Tara, because there are like 3 Taras of different colors: red, white in the middle, and green on the right. And because I was still intrigued with the Santipur Mahavihar, so I asked if the priest actually knows about the Shantikar Acharya. And he started narrating a different part of the story. What he said that one day there was a priest, and this guy used to go to that Santipur temple, going inside, and he could go inside all the way through one door, second door, third door, fourth door, fifth door, sixth door, seventh door. And when you go inside, you would be asked to offer something, whatever it was inside that Mahavihar. And it is said that the priest actually had a pot or kalasham. So it is said that like whatever he was asked, he could just put his hand inside that one and pull it out, and he could take out anything. For example, like buffaloes, birds, hen, or anything, whatever the thing inside the temple desired, he could give it, and then as a sacrifice, he would give the sacrifice and go back. But one of the conditions was, while going into the temple, you cannot look back. So it is said that one day he was just going to the temple, and the moment he went inside, the deities actually asked him, again, whenever I am using the word deity, it can be malevolent or benevolent, it can be anything. So the deity actually asked him that, today, if you want to make me happy, you have to sacrifice something that is behind you. And he said that, okay, but the deity again asked him to make a promise that wanted to make him a promise that, whatever is behind you, you have to sacrifice it. And he bind him, the deity bind him in a promise. So he said, yes, whatever it is, I'm going to offer it to you. So when he looked back, he didn't knew that like it was his young child, the son, was following him. It was a tragic moment for him, even just to think about what to do. So he sacrificed the child, and the deity was very happy. But Shantikar Acharya was crushed. He was crushed. He could not handle what he has done it. So it is said that like he took the body of the child and he went towards the northeast of Swayambhu temple, the Shantikar, the Sky temple. And when he went over there, he buried or cremated. We do not know the entire story. More research is needed. And he went over there and then he cremated the body in a place currently known as the Neipiyajima in Nepali language, and it's the Rudrayani temple or the Maheshwari temple, the feminine aspect of energy of Shiva or Maheshwar or Rudra, whatever you want to say. And it is also a part of the 8 Matrika energy system that is used to protect the city from different kind of energies. And it is said that like after that, he could not handle the tragedy. So Shantikar Acharya went inside the same, just like the previous case. He went inside the stupa, and then like he locked all the doors and he went into the samadhi. And it is said that like he's still in samadhi. So There are two variations of the stories. One thing might have followed by the another. We do not know. There's no way to know that either. And both stories seems genuine in some extent, because people can lie, but the energies cannot lie. But another thing is like why I'm joining the story of the maybe Ajima or the Rudrayani temple or the Maheshwar temple is because the priest in the Tara temple at the Tumbahal, he told that whenever they need to consecrate a new Tara, a new deity, a Devi, or if there is some damage or they need to, get another Devi, they can use the soil only from the Mepi Azima. You cannot use the soil from anywhere else. And you might be astounded that there is stories where the Tara has spoken to the people what they are looking for. That's why there's a stories about the talking Tara. And in this case, I think it was the Tara herself, the goddess mother, actually was speaking through the priest. And now you might be thinking that I've gone off the rockers or lost my marbles. But there is more to share. This story is not over yet. I can say it's already 22 minutes I've been speaking. I can make it as long as I can, but I'll keep the one important part as the second part. But coming back, before we end this part, what to reveal is, so if you can see in the iPad, this is actually the Ashtamatrika or the 8 mother goddesses that is actually designed to protect the city. So, and if you look into the top one, that is actually the Mepi Ajima, the Rudrayani temple that I was talking about. Now, why I'm showing this Ashtamatrika energy map? Because this map is not only in Kathmandu Valley, but it is also there in Bhaktapur, as well as Lalitpur, also known as Patan, and also in Varanasi, Kashi, and possibly it might be there in Ujjain also. But about the Ashtamatrika and other stuff, I'll be working on in the another video. But the biggest reveal why I'm telling you all this, and then what is the significance of all this, is because I've got something else to show you, another thing. So if you look into this map, I've already shown you a mapping of the Ashtamatrika, which is in the shape of a sword for the protection of the city from different energy forces and everything, negative malevolent forces. If you look, the top is the Mepi Ajima again. But now if you look on the left hand side, you can see this is actually where the Swayambhu temple is, and then the Shantikar Acharya Samadhi or the Santipur is. But now if you see there are a few things. One thing is you can see this blue dotted line. These are actually what I wanted to show you. Now if I connect these 4 locations. This is the main reason I'm making the video. I do not know, but it took me many days to come into this one, but I do not know whether it is pre-planned. Just like Sadhguru talks about geometries all the time. If you see, now we actually get this. If you see a box. Now what is actually happening is the Mepi Ejima is in the middle. And if you go towards the west, you'll see the Santipur temple. And if you go further north from there, if you see, this is actually known as the Purana Guheshwari. If you have heard about, there's a Guheshwari temple next to the Pashupatinath temple, which is now referred as the Shaktipit, and which is highly powerful. But I was doing the research, it is said that this is actually the newer Guheshwari, but the older Guheshwari, the original Guheshwari, is actually north of Swayambhu. So me and the other volunteer meditators went over there. It's crazy powerful, that one also. And it is also said that, when the history about the industry, when he cut off the Choba, it is also said that the Guheshwari, the Purana Guheshwari or the old Guheshwari temple where the shrine is, it is said that it worked as the outlet for the water also. So a part of the water actually went through the old Guheshwari. And it is also said that the shrine, we will not be able to taste it, but it is said that if you put let's say a cooked egg or something into that guha, which is actually comes from the word cave, and there's a different sect of a tantra using the guha tantra and everything. We will not go into that one, but it is said that if you put the egg as offering, it will just go, it's a very deep hole or cave or whatever you want to say. So very powerful space. But eventually what actually happened is, you might also be wondering, as you can see, these lines, this is the Guheshwari, old Guheshwari, this is Swayambhu, this is Mepi, and there's a Brahmani, the another Matrika temple over there that actually crosses and connects it. Now you might say that I'm just making a temple or something, like a triangle or something like that. But the most fascinating thing is, if you keep in mind, we're all talking about the Devis here. And the most important revelation of that is, when, I don't know from where I got this insight, that's why it's all Devi. I was talking about even, referring to talking Tara also, and making up a Devi. So I already told you about this one, and this one, and this one. I got 4 lines. Do you know what this one is? Can you wonder which this one is? This one is actually Vasundhara, where the Linga Vairavi is going to get consecrated on the 9th of March. And as I'm telling you, something is going through my body, through my system. And I think I should not speak more than this. It was my responsibility that what has been revealed through the grace, I don't know what to say about this, but I don't think like it's my doing. I'm just becoming a vehicle, yeah. So if you have stick up to 30th minute, you are also blessed. I do not know again how you are going to take it. I do not know why, how I'm taking it. I do not know. I'll be sharing the images also. But out of this, like I've not been to maybe Ajima also, like it's in the plan, but I've not been there. But since the talking Tara or the Tara is made of the clay from maybe Ajima, I know the significance. And I've also not been to the Brahmani temple also. So it becomes a paramount importance that I visit these places before I attend the consecration of the Bhairavi. Nothing but the gratitude, O Devi. Do I deserve this? I don't know, like I don't even. It's all the grace of Sadhguru. I need to stop here. Namaskar.